Hey YouTube, how's it going? This is Captain Horror here with another tier list ranking video. I am joined by none other than Mattdabs 187. How's it going, dude?
We're back.
So we
Uh,
decided that we are going to rank every ECW champion, which includes the Eastern Championship Wrestling, Extreme Championship Wrestling, and the ECW brand under WWE. I believe this was
every
suggested by you, Matt.
yes, it was. I was the one that suggested this because, for those of you that don't know, Captain Horror was a massive fan of ECW back in its heyday. So
I
I
am.
figured, why not? Why not? Let's
Not
rank every world champion.
not so much of a fan of the WWE brand, but more of your hardcore TV stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I never watched ECW back when they were Eastern Championship Wrestling. I've gone back and watched some of the matches, like from stream services. But man, like
Mhm.
back in the day, man, I loved ECW probably from like '94 to 2001. Those were the best times for it, in my
Oh
opinion.
yeah. Oh yeah. Easily.
So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start this list off with the inaugural ECW champion, which is Jimmy Snuka.
Super, super, super fly.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think Jimmy Superfly Snuka won a major title with his time in WWF.
No, he never won a title at all.
So I feel like this was ECW kind of like giving him the recognition that he did deserve.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But when I look
No,
at the entire class of ECW champions, um, I don't think I would rank him that high, but I would say it was a solid choice. Um,
yeah,
I'm kind of leaning somewhere near the C tier, like a high
yeah.
C.
I mean, for ECW's first ever world champion, you got to keep in mind Snuka was way past his point in his career. Uh, Actually held the title twice
Mm.
in his career. So yeah, I think C would be a good choice for Snuka.
So we will put Mr. Superfly in the C tier. Next up,
Yep.
we got Johnny Hotbody. Now,
Oh,
I'll be honest, I don't really know too much about Johnny Hotbody, but I don't think it was probably a bad choice for him to be ECW champion.
I
Because I would
mean,
say at the time they were very experimental with their talent at the time.
yeah, yeah, they're an upstart company. And fun fact, Johnny Hotbody is ECW's first Triple Crown winner.
That's right. I did know that.
But yeah, Johnny Hotbody was one of the more up and coming rising stars in the territorial programs back then. I would say let's put Johnny Hotbody in B.
Here's why I'm not with you on that. I'm gonna put him in
Below A.
C
Like,
because he didn't really do too much for the company later on. You know what I'm saying? He didn't stick around that long. I was his time as champ was very short lived. But what I'm saying is he didn't where I'm going at is like like I said, he wasn't with the company that for that long. I would put him in C. I feel just because, like I said, some of the other names that are up to
form.
that are coming up, I don't see putting Johnny
Mm.
Hotbody in the same category with them, if that makes sense.
No, no.
Next up, we have Don Morocco.
Don Morocco.
Here's where I'm at on Don Morocco.
Mm.
Don Morocco, a very accomplished at the time WWF champion.
Mm.
Did he really need the ECW championship?
I mean, let's be real. For a heel purpose champion and for Don to do what he did with the title, I kind of want to argue it, but at the same time, I understand where you're coming from.
Um,
Isn't it?
I would still put Don in C tier.
Yeah. Yeah. C would probably be beneficial.
I'm okay putting Don in C tier.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
So
Yeah.
next up, we have the Sandman. Now, when you think of
And
ECW, you think of the Sandman.
oh, absolutely.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think Sandman has held the ECW the most times for times his reigns. Not a combination of days. I know who that belongs to.
Yes.
But
Sandman was a 5-time champion, if
that
I'm not
sounds right.
mistaken.
That sounds right. Some people say technically he's a 4, but he did hold the Eastern Championship Wrestling title once, so technically that makes him a 5-time.
Yeah. But he would probably be upset with that. But anyways, you know what? Why don't we just put Sandman in S?
I'm I'm with you on that. I feel Sandman belongs in S tier.
One of the Mount Rushmores in regards to the guys of ECW. When you think of ECW, you got to mention Sandman.
Yeah, you have to. I feel like that's a no-brainer. Sandman goes in S tier.
Oh, easily.
Next up, we have Tito Santana. Um, dude, I honestly forgot that Tito Santana was ECW champion. Um, I also feel like I feel like his time in ECW is very, very short, and
Yeah,
to me, I don't understand his reign as ECW champion. Um, it doesn't make sense. I would probably put it in D tier.
yeah. I was gonna say D as well. I'm not gonna lie.
Tito Santana is not a bad wrestler, but as a
Oh
champion,
no,
it's like, why?
especially for ECW. Like, yeah, you don't think of Tito Santana when you think of ECW champions.
No, I'd put Tito in D tier.
Yeah, let's put Tito in D.
Nothing against Tito. Nothing against Tito.
No, absolutely nothing against Tito. One of the most underrated wrestlers, in my opinion.
True. Next up, we have
Oh,
the franchise Shane Douglas.
oh, oh, that lonely night in 1994. Oh, what a revolution that started.
Where he took the NWA title and said that they could kiss his ass,
Yep.
and
Once
then he
and he's
and
yep,
then and then claimed himself the Extreme Championship wrestling champion.
yep, and multi-time belt holder as well. Steve, yeah, yeah. I
Um,
think,
not only that, he's held it a total of 874 days, which is pretty much, I think, almost twice as long as Sandman's time as champion.
oh, you gotta put the franchise in S. You got to.
For sure, Shane Douglas goes an S. And hard worker.
Put ECW on the map.
Yep, hard worker. Put ECW on the map. Paul Heyman he was very well invested with Shane Douglas at that time in the early days.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I'm in agreement. Shane Douglas S tier.
Oh yeah.
Next
Oh,
up, a true underdog story, Mikey Whipwreck.
oh. Let me go off on this one real quick if you do not mind.
Go ahead.
This is absolute living proof that Paul Heyman could make a star out of anybody. This kid was working with the ring crew and he was taking bumps for fun. Paul Heyman saw what was going on. He was like, you know what? We're gonna book this kid. You know, mostly a loser. You know, he lost a lot of matches, but he squeaked one out when it mattered most. And the pop when he won that title, if we didn't have the Mikey Whipwreck story, we wouldn't have the underdog stories that we do today. Prime example, the Yes Movement.
Well, I was gonna
So,
say I think what it was like you're right. He was with the ring crew, and they worked for free. And
Yeah.
I remember there was a story like after the shows, him and his buddies were allowed to like take bumps in the ring and all that stuff. And
Mm,
I remember that like I think it was Joey Styles who like told Heyman, he's like, hey, he might actually have something here. So
right.
that's when he started actually becoming a roster member, and then
Mm,
he beats the Sandman in the ladder match to win the championship. So I think not only that, he is the youngest ECW champion of all time. Um,
correct.
I like the fact that it was like an underdog story,
Mm.
but he wasn't a strong champion.
Hey,
It's
listen,
it's more the
listen.
feel good. It's more the feel
Hmm.
good things. I mean, he did have didn't he successfully defend it against Steve Austin at one
Yes,
point?
he did.
That's
Yes, he
right.
did.
That's right. Um,
So he's got a title defense against the Hall of Famer under his belt.
yeah. But here's where I'm at with Mikey Whipwreck.
Okay.
I would put him in B tier.
Yep. You and I are on the same wavelength.
Not like a great champion, but more of like it's a feel good story.
Oh, absolutely.
But nonetheless, he is a ECW legend in his own right.
Yeah. Oh, Raven, the
Next up,
flock.
we got Raven. Now, when you're talking to
Oh,
Flock, you're talking about WCW days.
oh yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut it quick into the chase.
Okay.
I would put Raven in S tier because he was a dominant champion in the strongest days of ECW. Like
Oh yeah.
those 1994, 1995 days, they booked him to basically be like one of the top champions, and he was almost unstoppable.
Oh yeah. Easily.
Raven's a good worker. Um, he was a dominant champion, like I said, a dominant champion, and its strongest days.
Hmm.
Raven to me is an S tier, dude.
He not to mention the rivalries with Dreamer, Sandman in
That
those heydays.
that's what I'm
Oh
saying, dude.
yeah.
And with Terry Funk, I put Raven in S, dude.
Yeah. Let's put Raven in S. Give him his flowers.
Next up, we got Terry Funk.
I was about to say, speaking of the funker, we got Mr. Terry Funk.
Uh,
Um,
Here's
kind of a
where I'm at. It's the same
yeah,
thing with the Mikey Whipwreck thing.
yeah. I was about to say, dude, it's like it's a feel good moment for a hardcore legend like Funk
Well,
to
that's the thing
finally get
is,
his hand.
he's an old guy. They put Terry over, and he's
Hmm.
already a hardcore legend in his own right.
And then you have the ECW title on top of that.
That's right. Hang on one
So
second.
yeah, oh, you're good.
All right, we're back.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, I'd say Funker and B.
Um, I didn't he win it twice? I think.
He may have.
I think he did win it twice.
Yeah.
Um,
Actually, hold on.
I think. All right. So I remember the first time, if I'm mistaken, he won it in the that it was. I think it was a ladder match with Raven and Stevie Richards, the three way
Yeah, that
dance.
sounds right.
I think so. And then
Mhm.
another time that he won. Um, oh gosh, I can't remember what it was. No, I know.
Uh,
No, his second time he won, he beat Raven at Barely Legal at 97. I don't, I know he's got, like I said, I know he's won it twice. I can't
yeah,
remember
yeah. No, it was
Still,
barely legal 97. Barely
yeah, I
legal.
remember. That was the second time he won it. I can't remember the first time he won it though. That's the thing.
Um, hold on. Let me do some research. Please hold. Yep, two-time champion.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so Terry Funk, two-time champion. The second time he
Mm-hmm.
won it was against Raven at Barely Legal in 1997. I just don't remember his. I don't remember the first time he won it, but it only seems right that a hardcore legend like Terry Funk would go on to have his success as a world champion in a company like ECW.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I wouldn't put him in S. Terry belongs in A tier, in my opinion.
You know what? I'll agree with that. Let's put him in A.
Terry's in A tier.
Yes,
Ne-
sir.
Next up, we have the homicidal, the suicidal, the genocidal Sabu.
Death-defying man. Oh, Sabu, my favorite ECW wrestler of all time. My absolute favorite.
Here's where I'm at with Sabu. I love
Lay it on me.
Sabu. He embodies the ECW persona just for how crazy he was, how death defying he was. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Dude would just do unbelievable nonsense shit. Um, but I don't see him as a strong ECW champion,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense.
No, it definitely makes sense. It
It's
definitely makes sense.
it's one of those ones that's like, yeah, they put the bell on the right guy, but when it comes to a dominant ECW champion, I'm just
You got to
like,
make sure. Yeah.
not as much, but it's good booking if for when they put the title on him.
Oh, absolutely.
Um, for that, I would put Sabu in A tier.
Yeah. Let's put him in the same rank as Funk.
All right, Sabu goes in A tier, and next up we have Bam Bam Bigelow, the Beast from the East.
Oh, see, Bam Bam fits so well with ECW. But here's the thing: they flopped his title reign. They really did.
Here's also where I'm at with Bam Bam as well. Um, his reign wasn't memorable. I think it was like a month and a half.
Yeah.
But dude, he was an absolute workhorse. So putting the belt on him, it seemed right, but the problem is his reign was kind of unforgettable. Um, I feel like the reason they put him on the belt or they gave him the belt was for um, company interest purposes, storyline purposes or anything like that.
Right.
Um, Not a bad champion though. Like I said,
Trust trust me. We have some bad champions going on later on in the video.
yeah, we do, and that's what I'm saying. And I don't want to put Bam so low on the list. Bam Bam to me is definitely a B tier.
Yeah. Yeah. We can put Bam Bam in B.
All right, I'll put Bam Bam in B. Next up,
Oh,
we got the human suplex machine, Taz.
S tier. No questions asked.
I'm I'm honestly on you with that. Taz, he was with the company for, I mean, in its early days, before hardcore TV. Um,
Mm,
Taz worked his ass off, and
yeah.
he did so many good things for ECW.
He,
First run,
he,
his first run, I think, was just
the
under a
Tasmaniac.
year. He's only had two reigns as ECW champ. Only two.
That's
But
that's crazy.
but here's why I'm putting him in S. Because his first run as champion, it was just he held the belt for just under a year. But dude, he defended it like every fucking week.
Oh yeah.
Or twice a week at that.
Hmm.
Like his first reign as ECW champion was very much unstoppable. And the reason why I would put Taz in S tier, because this is basically a selfish part on his end, and we'll talk about it as well with Mike Awesome coming up.
Hmm.
When Mike Awesome was ECW champion going to WCW, Taz was with WWE, and
Oh
it
yeah.
was the first time only ever that a WWE wrestler was challenging a WCW wrestler for an ECW title in an ECW ring. Taz wins the title off of Mike and basically gives it back to Paul.
Yep.
Taz's loyalty to ECW and being just a fucking workhorse. His first reign as ECW champion, he was just unstoppable. Taz is an S tier for me.
Absolutely. Let's put him in S.
All right, and now back to what we were talking about earlier with Mike Awesome. Now, I'm kind of on the fence a little bit with Mike Awesome because, like I said, him as ECW champion jumping ship to WCW was pretty shitty.
Hmm.
Um, and Paul was so invested in Mike, he booked him to basically be unstoppable.
Oh yeah.
And and here's the thing too, Mike Awesome is an underrated wrestler.
Easily.
Mike Awesome was a good wrestler, but I know there was times where he would go to WCW, then he jumped back to ECW, and then go back to WCW, and then back to ECW. There was times like that. Uh, I feel like the fact that he departed for WCW while ECW champion is gonna hurt his ranking a bit. Um,
Hmm.
I get it; he wanted to be paid more. Um, there's nothing against Mike Awesome at all.
Yeah.
There are worse
Question
people.
is,
There are worse people than Mike Awesome as ECW champion. So for that, I would put Mike in a C tier.
yeah, I think that's fair.
Next up, we got Masato Tanaka.
Oh, such an underrated wrestler. Why did his reign only last 6 days?
I don't know. And the fact that he broke Mike Awesome's streak is just nonetheless impressive. But
Their rivalry. Oh,
oh dude, Masato would eat chair shots from Mike. It was crazy.
yeah,
But here's where I'm at. Masato Tanaka, 6 days as champion. Kind of underwhelming.
yeah.
But hard worker, dude.
I think his hardworking abilities are keeping him in D for me, probably.
In D,
Respectfully. Respectfully. If his reign would have lasted longer, I would have put him higher. But respectfully, Masato has to be a B.
I thought you said a D. I
I,
was about to lose my shit. Because here's my thing. Like I said, 6 days as champion, not impressive. But for what he did for the company, and it's just like, where do you rank that? Even though it was six
right.
days. Because look,
Yeah.
there's going to be people on this list who held the title for more than 6 days. Or hell, even one, and they're going to go in F.
Right.
But yeah, I'm with you. Masato Tanaka, I put him in a B.
Yeah.
And for people who held the title less than 6 days, we got Tommy Dreamer who held it for under a day in his first reign. But Tommy Dreamer, He's the face of the ECW.
He never wanted to win belts.
No. Now, granted, he would go on to win the ECW belt under the WWE brand.
But that was it's more like a farewell and like thank you type of reign, you know?
Yeah, I get that. But here's where I'm at. Here's where I'm at, and this may be a little controversial. I would put
Uh-oh.
Tommy in a B tier.
No, it makes sense. I don't want to argue it. It does make the most sense.
It's good booking to give him the title, but as a champ, I just, I just, Tommy is like he's one of those underdog stories as well.
Mm. Leo just messaged me. Durag Vincent S tier.
Speaking of one reign wonders,
Just incredible.
Just incredible. Now, here's where I'm at with Just Incredible. He beat Tommy Dreamer and just and Tommy's minute, like his short matter of minute reign.
Mm-hmm.
But what I like about Just Incredible as champion was Paul. This is at the time where Paul was just, he knew ECW was coming to a close, and he was just taking chances on just young guys just to put them over. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. You know what?
Just Incredible at that time. I think he held. I want to say he held it for like almost half a year or so. His first run. I know he defended it a few times. He wasn't a bad. He was a pretty solid champion.
Yeah, he was.
And the closing times of I would put Just Incredible on an A tier, dude.
Dude, you and I are literally on the same wavelength, dude.
Like just Paul Heyman just taking chances with this new young talent to get him over, because he was probably thinking, hey, if my business goes out, if we go out of business, and if I'm able to put these young guys over, maybe these other companies will too.
Absolutely. Speaking of young guys, Jerry Lynn.
Dude, Jerry Lynn, probably one of the most underrated wrestlers ever.
Yep, I can agree to that.
Same thing. And guess what? Same thing with in the Just Incredible scenario. Putting young talent over, giving them their due. But Jerry Lynn was champion that long. Would I put him in A? No. I'd probably put Jerry in B.
Yeah, B is safe for Jerry.
Great wrestler. Short
underrated
reign,
workhorse.
But dude, oh my god, Jerry Lynn in the ring, so underrated, man.
Oh yeah, easily.
And now another talent. Yep, another talent where Paul Heyman was taking chances. We got Steve Corino.
Steve Corino. That's a name right there.
We're also getting into the territory where it's like, oh, this is near like the ending days of ECW, where people forgot he was ECW champ.
Oh yeah.
Where I'm at with Steve, I would put Steve in a B tier.
Again, I would agree with you. It seems fair. It's the most realistic one for me. Yeah, let's put Steve Corino in B.
And now the final ECW champ under the ECW namesake is Rhino. And Rhino held the title till it was declared vacant, I guess you would say, or defunct.
Yeah, because yeah.
But dude,
Short reign.
short reign,
Rhino
but dude,
pumped a lot.
Rhino was one of those guys that was like, they finally put the belt on him.
Oh yeah.
After just being a workhorse for that company for so many years, I would put Rhino in A tier.
Yeah, let's do it. Rhino and A.
Rhino goes to A tier. And now we're into the WWE branding of ECW. And a guy who was overdue to be ECW champion, WWE booked it right. It's Rob Van Dam. But here's the
Okay.
problem.
Yeah.
He wasn't champion for that long. Wasn't it
Oh
3 weeks?
no, it was 36 days.
It was 36.
Because
Okay, it was 36 days, but I remember they pretty much took the title from him because he popped for
he got
weed or
pulled.
some.
Yeah, him and Sabu got pulled over for DUI while smoking that wacky tobacco.
Oh,
And then
Rob.
he was suspended while he was champion while they were trying to get both titles off of him.
Jesus.
So Rob,
Doing the man dirty.
but hey, you know what? He's going out the way that he would want to. High as a kite.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something though. Here's my take with Rob Van Dam. Should have been ECW champion when Paul Heyman was in control back in the day. I'm glad that that WWE booked him to win at One Night Stand. It was the right call. He was way overdue.
She is stamping.
But we're gonna put Rob Van Dam in B tier.
Yep. I was thinking the exact same thing.
All right. Next
Oh
up,
God.
we got the Big Show. Now,
I want to forget about this reign.
I do too. Um, Big Show's one of them guys. You know, he didn't need the ECW title. He's already established
Yeah.
himself in the company. You know, nothing against Big Show. You're going in D tier, my guy.
Oh.
You're going in D tier.
Bobby Lashley.
Oh yeah. So here's here's where I'm at too. At the time when they had done ECW, they were basically building ECW to be their kind of like developmental brand where they're like the new face. Because remember they did like oh, this is the new blood, like this is where all the new faces go and all that. Now
Yeah.
we already know Bobby Lashley had made a name for himself before the ECW branding, but he was still a young guy. I feel like WWE was trying to protect their main roster, like Raw and SmackDown, like champions.
Yeah.
And they were like, we like this Bobby guy. Let's see how he does as ECW champion. It's kind of like a test in the waters kind of thing. And it worked. Bobby was a good champion. Was he a great champion? No.
And
I would put Bobby in C tier.
yeah, that's safe. That's safe.
Mm-hmm.
F tier next.
Yeah.
F tier next.
We really don't have to discuss this one as much. Why? Anytime the boss books himself as champion, it doesn't make sense. It's storyline purposes, and it's shitty storyline purposes. Mr. McMahon, ECW champion, you get an F.
You're fired.
All right. Next up, we got John Morrison. It was supposed to be Chris Benoit, but due to unfortunate events, they had to pull an audible, and they went with John Morrison to win the title when it was vacated at Night of Champions.
Oh,
I honestly forgot John Morrison was champion.
I didn't.
I honestly forgot he was. Um, for that, I would just put John Morrison in D tier.
Yeah. No, D tier sounds fair.
You're going into D.
Now, in my opinion, one of the last better ECW champions, CM Punk.
Okay, so yeah, when this is back when they're getting back into like the new blood, and CM Punk was
New
new.
blood.
He was the new, like the new guy, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and he not only that, he looks like somebody who back in the day would have been on ECW. The tattoos, the piercings, all that, the
Mm-hmm.
attitude. CM Punk,
Is an A tier champion.
I wouldn't go that high.
Really?
I would put CM Punk in a B tier, a high B.
All right. I'll settle with high B. I'll settle with high B.
Yeah, he would go in a B tier, just high up.
Oh yeah.
And we'll do what we normally do at the end of the videos. We'll reorganize the
Yeah.
rankings on these. Like we'll list who's the top S, who's the top A, and so on and so on.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Chavo Guerrero. Why did they book this? Not only that, he was on the SmackDown roster, and he was the ECW champion. It doesn't make sense. It's bad booking.
D tier.
I'm looking at like almost F, but Chavo, good worker, underrated wrestler. I'll put him in D tier.
He's just not Eddie.
Next up, we got
Uh,
Kane. Why
Mine.
Kane was ECW champion? I don't know. Once again, Kane was on the SmackDown brand, wins the ECW
No.
championship. Wait, what?
Wait. No. Wait. Kane was on SmackDown.
Yeah, he
Oh
was on the
wait.
SmackDown brand.
Oh god.
Yeah, I was like,
Oh.
wait a minute. Once again, no need. D tier.
Not only that, but he got drafted to Raw as ECW champion as
Yeah,
well.
this is at a time where I was like not watching wrestling. I
Yeah.
was like, I'm over this shit.
Speaking of champions, speaking of guys that didn't need to hold the belt, we have Mark Henry.
But at least he was on the ECW brand when he won it.
That alone should qualify him for C.
I mean, this is at a point where I feel like where WWE was like, hey, you know, we never gave you the WWE Championship or made you World Heavyweight Champion. The least we could do is at least give you the ECW Championship. It almost feels like it's out of pity.
Yeah.
But Mark Henry is a good ECW champion.
And we're saying that loosely.
And for that, I would put Mark in C tier.
Yeah, let's put him in C. F it, right?
And just the fact that he was on the ECW brand and won that title.
Yeah.
There you go. Like, better booking. Next up, we got Christian. Another thing. Never gave him the WWE Championship, World Heavyweight Championship. Here's the ECW Championship. Pity belt. But, you know, Christian just doesn't embodies the ECW spirit. I don't. Christian go for me is a D.
Yeah, let's put him in D.
And same thing
again,
with Matt Hardy.
Yeah. They only gave him the ECW title because Jeff had the better success.
That's exactly. Pity belt.
D tier.
And now we're on Jack Swagger. Dude, F tier for me.
You know what? If you're putting Jack Swagger in F, you may as well throw Ezekiel Jackson in there. 3 minutes as ECW champion. 3 minutes.
That's it.
3 minutes, just 3 minutes, and then dead.
So now what we'll go ahead and do is we're gonna rank. This is gonna be simple. We're gonna put Mr. McMahon dead last, Ezekiel Jackson, then Jack Swagger. Now
Okay.
for D tier, who
Oh
would you
God.
the worst out of all of these?
I would probably say Matt Hardy. No,
Okay,
no, no, no. Chavo, Chavo.
we're gonna put Chavo back here, then Kane,
Yeah,
then I would probably put
J
Matt,
Mo.
Johnny Nitro, Johnny Morrison.
Yeah, yeah, J Mo. Then Matt.
Okay,
And
Christian,
then
Big Show, Tito. I can do that.
yeah,
All right, so down to here, we got Mark Henry, Bobby Lashley. I would actually bump Mike Awesome up way up, dude.
yeah,
Mike is
yeah.
he's a top tier C guy. Um, and then I would also do
Johnny
John,
Hotbody over
Johnny
Snuka.
Hotbody over Snuka, and then I'd probably leave it just like that.
Oh yeah.
B tier.
You
Here's
got
where
to
I'm
start it
at.
with. You got to start it with Tanaka. 6 days. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We'll do Tanaka down to here.
Mm. Dreamer.
Dreamer, even though he had another run as ECW champion with the rebrand.
Hmm.
Rob Van Dam,
Yeah.
right down there.
Bam
Um,
Bam Bigelow after that.
yeah, because he had a short reign. Uh, I would
Mikey.
also do, Mikey Whipwreck. Leave
And
CM
then,
Punk at where he's at.
and then swap Jerry and Steve Carino.
No, I would probably, yeah, because Carino, he had more reigns as champ as Jerry.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that Heyman was taking risk with
Yeah.
guys. And I actually kind of like where this is at. Rhino, just incredible. Sabu. I would actually put Sabu higher than Terry.
Yeah, I would too.
So now we're pretty much looking at the Mount Rushmore. Um, I would honestly put Shane Douglas ahead of Sandman,
Oh.
just due to
Yeah.
Shane Douglas. He's held that title more days than Sandman, almost twice
And,
as much.
and he
And
put ECW on the map.
he put ECW on the map exactly.
Yeah.
I would leave it
Yeah.
just like that. It'd be
That works.
Taz, Raven, Sandman, then Shane Douglas.
That'll work.
So realistically, when you look at it, our top 10 is Shane Douglas, the Sandman, Raven, Taz, Sabu, Terry Funk, Justin Credible, Rhino, Steve Carino, and Jerry Lynn.
That's a damn good top 10.
And then your
That's a
top 15, you got CM Punk in there, which is a surprise. Mikey
Whipwreck, which is a
Whipwreck,
major surprise.
Bam Bam, RVD, and ECW, and then Tommy Dreamer.
I'm satisfied with this list.
Yeah, I'm alright with it too.
Well, all right then.
If you guys have any other, if you agree or you disagree, just let us know in the comments. We're always, everyone's open to their own opinions. This is just for fun.
And
There's some people out there who think, Big Show is one of the greatest ECW champions, but you might have grown up watching the WWE rebrand of
and if
ECW.
that's the case, go smoke with RVD.
That's true, and Sabu.
And if you have any other suggestions for different tier list ideas,
I
let,
will
let
tell
us know
you,
down in the comments.
yeah, and I'll tell you this too. When I'm looking at this list, there are some names on here. I'm like, man, I can't believe they didn't put the belt on him.
Oh my God, yeah.
like Tajiri.
Oh, should have been ECW champion.
Yeah, Tajiri should have been ECW champion. Lance Storm should have been ECW champion.
Eddie Guerrero, Chris Jericho, Dean
Yeah,
Malenko.
yeah.
Like,
They would have been good ECW champions before they had gone over to WCW.
100%.
But yeah, just let us know if y'all what y'all think. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and
Don't
let
forget to
us
ring that bell.
true. And if y'all have any other tier list suggestions, let us know. We can definitely work on that, get them together. Um, what would you say the next tier list video you'd want to do is?
Oh, next tier list video.
What would you
Ooh,
say? I think I threw a suggestion at you, and I think you got hyped for it.
remind me what that suggestion was.
I'll have to scroll back on our messages and look.
Actually, I can just do that real quick.
Well, I'm already ahead of you.
Fair enough.
I could have swore it had something to do with WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Oh, I
What
remember
was
about
it?
it. Royal
What was
Rumble
it?
winners most deserving to least deserving.
Yes, yes. That would be a damn good tier list. But another good tier list ranking every Hell in a Cell match
Oh God, how
onto
many
a
are
tier.
there?
There's got to be at least like 30 plus.
Holy shit! Would you include the Kennel from Hell match in that?
Hell no. Hell no.
All right. That
Uh,
is it for us. We hope you all enjoy the video. And stay tuned for the next one.
deuces.